Hello and welcome to Writing Better English, Episode 3. Let's get started, shall we? Look at this first sentence. In my opinion, a business cannot use both strategies effectively. Okay, the problems are marked in red. I think this one's quite obvious. It should be cannot, just one word. There are certain circumstances when you can use two words. I will look at those at some time in the future. This is the big problem here, my. In the previous video, I talked about not using personal pronouns in academic writing. So that's the first problem, and of course, after an introductory phrase, there should be a comma here. The trick then is, how do we get rid of the my opinion? This is difficult. Really, you have to look at lots and lots of examples. So I've given you one example on the next slide, and let's have a look at it. The way I've chosen to tackle this problem is to use studies show that. This is much more objective. Now, there are other methods of doing this. We'll see these in future videos. So let me say this sentence. Studies show that a business cannot use both strategies effectively. On to the next slide. Let me read this first. So, either a company uses a differentiated marketing strategy or it doesn't, and it uses an undifferentiated marketing strategy. Okay, there are a lot of things going on here. First thing is, I don't really like to start a sentence with so. It sounds too much like you're talking. I think if you're writing a blog post or something like that, that would be okay, but not in formal academic writing. So we need to get rid of that. It doesn't really give us any information. Then let's have a look at this bit here. Or it doesn't, and it uses an undifferentiated marketing strategy. This is very clumsy. There are too many words in it and it's difficult to say. In fact, as I'm recording this, I've had to take several takes because it feels so unnatural to me. So that's clumsy here. And here we have repetition, marketing strategy, marketing strategy. We don't need to repeat this phrase. It doesn't sound very good. I'll show you what I've done to make some improvements. Firstly, I've got rid of the so. Next, this didn't add anything. It doesn't, and it didn't really help us with the sentence. It just made the sentence longer. And I've replaced marketing strategy with one. Okay, let me read the whole sentence. Either a company uses a differentiated marketing strategy or it uses an undifferentiated one. Now, these two sentences that I've just been talking about actually followed on from each other. So in the next slide, I will read them both together. Studies show that a business cannot use both strategies effectively. Either a company uses a differentiated marketing strategy or it uses an undifferentiated one. And now to our next slide. The market targeting can be accomplished using different strategies. Okay, there are a couple of things wrong here. Firstly, we're using the incorrectly. In the future, I'm going to make some videos about using the. It's a small word, we use it all the time, but there are some tricky situations. I won't go into details at the moment. Here, the phrase is just wrong. So let's see what I've done to change it. So get the vocabulary, get the terminology correct. So I've just changed this to targeting can be accomplished using different strategies. It's also much easier to say. And now the final sentence. There's actually nothing wrong with this sentence, but I have put in red the word difficult. Now what I want to try to do here is to improve your vocabulary. Difficult is overused, and I want to try to build your vocabulary to make it a little bit more sophisticated. and allow you to be using more words, more interesting, higher level words. This is what I've done. I've swapped out difficult for challenging. It sounds more elegant and sounds much more effective. Let me read that then for you. Assuming that people have different needs, it is challenging to develop a product which satisfies all of them perfectly. And again, assuming that people have different needs, it is challenging to develop a product which satisfies all of them perfectly. That's it for today. I hope you found that useful. If you did, give me a thumbs up and hit that big red subscribe button, as they say. Thank you very much. Until next time.